Welcome back for video game news. As always, this is Goku-san DBZ. Gonna be relatively light week because what I basically just threw together, slept in this morning, apologize, stayed up late last night watching Royal Rumble. Which, quickly, before I get to news and stuff, I'll save that for the end. But first up, the one game, which is the only game I was curious about on Metacritic score, which I wrote down the medium. I will do the rest next week for video game news. But the medium, its scores have come out on Metacritic. For PC, has a 76% critic score and a 7.3% audience score. And Xbox Series X version has a 71% among critics and a also 7.3 among users. Interesting. Also, we have games with gold. Some of the games that are being released from the 1st to the 28th of February. We have Resident Evil Remake. Then we have an indie game coming out February 16th to March 15th. Then we have Gears 5 from the 1st to the 28th. Then we have an original Xbox game which is going to be released the 1st to the 15th of this month. Indiana Jones game from the original Xbox, which is interesting. Also, last we have from the 16th to the 28th, we have Lost Planet 2, which is a game I definitely highly recommend checking out. On the PS Plus side of things, first we have, strictly for PS4 users, a VR compatible game, and that is Concrete Genie, which is a game, unfortunately, I already have, so yeah, it's not good for me. But if you have like Move, PlayStation Move as well as VR or whatever, I highly recommend picking up the game. It's a great game to play in VR. It's a great experience. A very artsy / elements of platformer as well. It's a very unique game compared to about any other experience I can think of on PS4. Also, we have for PS5 users, we have Destruction All Stars, which is exclusively for PS5 users. Then we have a game that's going to be cross both for PS4 and PS5, and that is Control Ultimate Edition. Now, I already own Control, but this is Ultimate Edition, which includes the expansions and everything, so I'm probably just going to delete my regular version of Control and just download this. That way I get all the DLC included. I appreciate actually that offer from Sony, actually offering the Ultimate Edition for free. Finally, a decent massive size game for free 1 month. Even though it's not a super expensive game now, but with the DLC it is more valuable at least. Also, we have a Yakuza creator become Sega's new creative director. Smart choice given how successful the Yakuza series has been for Sega. It is what has, at some rough times, kept Sega afloat. Also, we have the announcement for TV / movie side of things. Announced coming out, being released on HBO Max March the 18th, Zack Snyder's Justice League cut, which I'll admit I'm kind of curious about. Also, longtime Sonic voice actor is stepping away from the role. I guess is retiring from the character. So that'll be interesting in the future to see how Sonic will sound voice-wise. Also, Tomb Raider series has been announced and confirmed, and it's going to be exclusively on Netflix. Alrighty then. Last of the gaming news before I move over quickly, a little bit of a recap since being a big wrestling fan, I thought I'd do it. But and that is GameStop stock. Boy, has the whole situation with the GameStop stock over the past week become ridiculous. And a lot of the controversy revolves around Reddit users of a few specific groups and individuals on Reddit, as well as a particular group or company which is called Robinhood. It's a very complicated, very complex issue, and even though I know pretty well the basics of everything that's going on with the situation with the stock, um, I actually completely support. It's nice to see average people and stuff standing up and sticking it to the corrupted Wall Street people. If you're curious to know a much more in-depth detail discussion and everything on the GameStop stock situation, I recommend checking out a video that was released the other day from Chris Chappell and his YouTube channel called America Uncovered. I highly recommend it. I'll also put a link up in this video for America Uncovered's YouTube channel. Chris Chappell is great at reporting news. He also adds a lot of good sarcasm and witty humor to reporting on the news, and I appreciate that. He actually reports real news. He's not a talking head like most news. But with that said, and on the video, or rather on the WWE side of things, we had, of course, the 2021 Royal Rumble last night. In the pre-show, we had a match for the women's tag team titles. It was, of course, the champions, Asuka and Charlotte Flair, which I love Asuka. Subscribe, check out her YouTube channel if you're a wrestling fan. But also, and they were defending the titles, and unfortunately, they lost the titles to Nia Jax and, what was her name? Shayna Baszler. And that partially had to do with a certain Ric Flair and Lacey Evans getting involved in that whole situation. We then cut to the WWE Championship match on the main card, first match, and it being obviously defending champion, of course, none other than Drew McIntyre, which I love his work. And he faced off against Goldberg. I was afraid that they were going to try doing a squash match type thing involving Goldberg, but thank goodness they made the right decisions, and Drew McIntyre retained the title. I appreciate that, actually, quite a bit. I'm glad they didn't give it to Goldberg. But then we move on to the women's, or whether the SmackDown Women's Championship match, which was, of course, Carmella versus the defending champion, Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks, in the end, won the match. I appreciate that, because I'm not digging the whole new Carmella, like, gimmick and look and everything. I liked her old version gimmick better. Her new one, not a fan of. Then we go on, of course, of other matches to the Women's Royal Rumble match. Now, my personal pick, unfortunately, did not win. My personal pick was, I wanted Alexa Bliss to win. My secondary pick would have been Charlotte Flair, but unfortunately, Charlotte did not survive. At least Ripley from NXT had a good, strong showing at the match. That's good, because she's a really good wrestler, in my opinion. Probably one of the best on NXT, in my opinion. In the end, the one who actually won from SmackDown, and that being which had a strong showing last year, Bianca Belair won the match. I don't have anything against Bianca. I just wanted my Alexa or Charlotte to win. But I'm fine with Bianca winning the match. She's actually pretty good in ring, I will definitely say. Her abilities are good. She's definitely fresh. Her style gimmick I appreciate, and like that at least have some newer faces winning. That's a good thing, not always the established individuals. Also, we had the last man standing match for the Universal Championship. Of course, Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. And may I say, Roman Reigns is so much better as a heel than he ever was as a face. He sucked as a face, in my opinion. He really kills it as a heel. He is a lot more interesting character, in my opinion. But in the end, Roman Reigns would, of course, retain the title. Not surprised. If he loses the title, it'll probably be at WrestleMania. But with that said, so both world champs go on to WrestleMania, it looks like, at least for now. We have the Men's Royal Rumble match, which was really good. I admit there's some surprises in the match. My top three picks, the first pick wasn't really a pick because he wasn't announced for the match, but I was crossing my fingers that maybe a certain Fiend would reappear at the Royal Rumble match, but, well, so much for that hoping, because the Fiend never showed up. With that said, probably the main ones I actually thought were going to win the Royal Rumble, I was thinking either with some momentum and stuff going on and the big face turn, I was wondering if Shinsuke Nakamura would end up winning for his second Royal Rumble. He didn't win, he got eliminated. Of others I kind of was hoping for to see was, well, let's see here. How should I put this? First, we did get a couple surprise appearances in the match with Carlito. The first time in years seeing Carlito back, which of course is cousins to Primo and Epico. Also, we got to see some others. Now, I was also thinking they might end up giving the Royal Rumble match to Daniel Bryan because this is his last run, but they didn't. Surprise, surprise. It came down to a few individuals. It came down to Braun Strowman. Also, I want to say one other surprise entry in the match I actually enjoyed was Christian. Nice to see him reappear. But it came down to Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, Edge. And, of course, the reappearance from the beginning at the very end of the match also reappeared. Of course, Randy Orton with an RKO out of nowhere. And it came down to Edge and Orton. I was like, are they going to give Orton a third Royal Rumble win since he's the Viper and tie him with the only other person with 3 Rumble wins, that being Stone Cold Steve Austin, one of the most overrated wrestlers of all time in my personal opinion, up there with Cena, but whatever. But no, for his second WrestleMania Royal Rumble match win. Holy crap, and I have absolutely no problem. It was a surprise, but a pleasant surprise. And Edge won the 2021 Men's Royal Rumble match. I'm fine with that. I'm just curious who they're going to set up at WrestleMania for him to face. Is he going to face Roman Reigns, or is he going to face Drew McIntyre? That's the question. Will he choose the Universal title or the WWE title? I feel like, though, a match like Edge versus Drew could be quite interesting, and since they're both on Raw, but he can do the title of his choosing, so we'll see. But with that said, that is video game news slash a little bit of a recap of some of the results from WWE Royal Rumble 2021. Stay safe. See y'all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel.